It all begins with a man trying several cards in ATM, but when none of them is working, he puts a card in the machine which has a unique logo, and instantly the machine questions him about selecting an opponent he wants to choose. A car then arrives and takes him to the finance district where he has to fight an opponent with some creature, but he loses. At Heise Economic University, Kimimaro is preparing for the civil service exam even during a lecture. He wants to build a stable income. Even now, he is doing 2 jobs after his classes. During his second job, Hanabi comes to him and reveals tomorrow's test and gives him some important notes for him to prepare. To thank her, he asks if she wants to grab a drink after his shift is over, but she tells him she'll go out with her boyfriend. When he gets home, he tries to prepare for the test but falls asleep. He's awakened when Masakaki from Mita's bank trade department knocks on his door to talk to him. Kimimaro shuts the door to his face. However, Masakaki magically takes him to some unknown place. He reveals that if Kimimaro leaves his future in their hands, they will provide him with loans in exchange. Suddenly, Kimimaro awakes and thinks it was just a dream. However, when he checks his balance in the morning, he is surprised to see 500,000. But when he tries to take some money, Masakaki appears and reveals that he can earn more. He can find his lost father with it. He can even conquer Hanabi's heart. Hanabi shows him a card and takes him to the finance district. Kimimaro and Masakaki reach Mita's Plaza, the center of the finance district. There, Masakaki shows Kimimaro his opponent and introduces him to his asset, MCU. The fight starts, but Kimimaro doesn't know what to do. However, MCU keeps on saving him from attacks by the opponent. She ends up getting hurt several times through these attacks. He asks MCU to teach him how to fight. As he attacks, it becomes a powerful attack that makes them win the fight, making him pass out. When Kimimaro opens his eyes, he finds himself lying on his bed. Suddenly, Masakaki appears to reveal that it was not a dream and that he won money from that battle. However, he can also talk to his asset through the Mita's card, while later, Kimimaro tries to contact his asset. It is revealed to Kimimaro that Mita's money is mixed with regular currency. Later at night, Kimimaro meets someone named Mikuni who reveals that he is a person who just spends money. He also tells that Kimimaro can also become like him, but he just wants a normal life. Mikuni questions him if he is interested, then he can help and will wait for Kimimaro in that city. Kimimaro decides to go to her Aunt Kyoko to find out more about his parents. She gives him a box left by his father and he gets shocked as he finds a diary with some numbers and meters written on one page. It is revealed that the attacks that assets do during a battle are called inflation and have 3 categories like macro, meso, and micro, with costs for activating them. Kimimaro goes to the finance district to find out about his father. Mikuni takes him to a person who informs him about his father going bankrupt and attempting suicide. Mikuni then takes Kimimaro to his favorite spot and reveals about his sister. She died because his father put all his money into the business instead of saving her. Mikuni reveals that after getting money from the financial district, he first bought his father's company. He convinces Kimimaro to continue his deals, to make money and find someone else to spend money on instead of saving it. Kimimaro gets shocked to see his professor as his opponent in his next deal, but manages to win the deal due to his asset. However, it was thanks to Mikuni who bought shares of Kimimaro's assets, enabling him to win. The next day, Kimimaro goes to speak to that professor at the university. He reveals that he fought desperately in the finance district to raise his children, but went bankrupt and his children have become non-existent, just a memory. Even the fact of his wife's pregnancy is gone. Kimimaro learns about Mukudori Guild, an organization created by Mikuni Suikuru to limit the effects of the finance district on the real world. There are not many advantages of joining it, but one can avoid bankruptcy by joining. The professor advises him that he must not lose. Mikuni is about to fight and invites his opponent, Kikuchi, to join his guild, but he doesn't respond, and the deal starts. Mikuni looks confident, but most people bought his opponent's stock shares. When it seems Mikuni is going to lose, he summons another asset, the sleeping princess, to win the duel. After winning the deal, when Mikuni comes back to Kimimaro, he doesn't seem too impressed. Mikuni says that he doesn't want to become like him, because he doesn't want to bring misfortune to the people around him by bankrupting them. Mikuni tells Kimimaro that the Starling Guild wants to win by slim margins to minimize the impact on reality. Even yet, when Kimimaro tries to put this into practice, MCU tries to finish the battle and fails Kimimaro's strategy, making him lose. While heading back, Kimimaro learns from the taxi driver that even individuals who suffer just little losses could see significant changes in their future, because a deal is an obligation to one's future self. Kimimaro gets worried, phones his aunt, who reassures him that she is doing okay and is only going to the hospital for minor appendicitis-related difficulties. Though seems just to affect his test results, he is happy that his worries about whether his loss has harmed any of his friends or family have vanished. Later, he asks Hanabi if she's doing well, to which she responds to be happy because her application for the teaching internship has been approved. At home, Kimimaro questions MCU about her prior match injury. She responds that she is improving. After that, Kimimaro started to worry about the Basho pharmaceutical company because its potential bankruptcy could have a huge impact on thousands of people. Later, Kimimaro discovers that another Mikuni-owned corporation acquired the business to lessen its impact on reality. Later, Mikuni reveals that he is trying to keep balance between reality and the financial district because removing either one would lead to anarchy. Kimimaro decides to join the guild and begins managing his deals. Kimimaro finds his new opponent, a famous person by the name of Ko Senoza. Ko approaches Kimimaro and tells him that there are methods to pass on deals. Kimimaro has to deposit some of his assets into a bank. Ko also tells him that the amount must be equal to half of his current assets, but Kimimaro gets worried when he learns the amount. Ko then gives him a way out. Regardless of how well balanced the deal is, the impact on reality will always be there. He gives Kimimaro time to consider his offer after handing him his card. Kimimaro rejects the offer and gets approached by Sadu, who works for an organization to investigate the true nature of the finance district. Sadu reveals that Mikuni is utilizing a significant part of his own future to help in minimizing the repercussions of other people's bargains. The following day, Kimimaro speaks to Ko, who claims that Mormita's money arises in the actual world every time the guild does something. Kimimaro decides to execute his deal with Ko, whose potent asset seriously injures MCU when she stands up for Kimimaro. Kimimaro gathers the strength to defeat Ko, who causes putting him out of business as he commits to defending the things precious to him. Mikuni's backstory is revealed, in which he gave up his side job as a rock musician to work as his father's secretary. His father used all the money into the firm instead of saving his sister. When Takako pays a visit to his sister in the hospital, she asks if he has given up music to take a secretarial position. A few days later, when his sister, Takako, fell into a coma, Mikuni concentrated on business to plan his revenge. Soon after, the Mitas Bank approached him, and he starts trading in the financial district before taking over his father's company. Back to present, MCU thinks back on her interaction with Kimimaro, who is now interested in the aspects of futures that take the form of assets. Kimimaro confronts someone who is making fun of MCU. He admits that he fights because he doesn't want to make the wrong decision by being silent. That evening, Kimimaro watches television at home, and MCU asks what's a kiss. He explains the art of kissing, and MCU presses Kimimaro for one. He declines, claiming that it won't function unless the other person increases their existing emotions by 30 times. Later, he notices that some buildings had vanished. As part of the financial district's banks also fail. Countries around the Intres begin to fall into poverty, with inhabitants becoming inactive or disappearing entirely. Suddenly, Kimimaro witnesses Ibarra standing on top of the building. He approaches Ibarra and tries to persuade him not to commit suicide. Ibarra tries to jump off the building but is stopped by Kimimaro. Ibarra is doing this to reclaim his children, whom he abandoned in the financial district. He goes on to say that once he lost against Kimimaro, his children vanished, and no matter what he did to get them back, it was all in vain. After stopping him from committing suicide, Kimimaro tries to persuade Masakaki to let him pay a fee to return Ibarra's future, but he is told that such things are beyond his authority. Later, Kimimaro learns that Ibarra died in a car accident. He resolves to burn a big part of his Mita's money as a symbol of his mental shift. He asks if MCU is upset about him wasting money because it is something she worked hard for, but she responds that he must have his reasons for doing so. According to Kimimaro, money has no authority to deprive humanity of its destiny. Sadu cuts him off, noting that even if he burns money, he won't be able to burn down the finance district. She goes on to say that the finance district needs to spread New Mita's money because the country's financial situation has reached a critical point. The Southeast Asian Financial District, along with Singapore, falls bankrupt as Mikuni and the Starling Guild plot to stop something called C. There is a meeting with the IMF managing director, which he talks about how the market's rapid changes, which might lead to a serious financial catastrophe and how they should secure funding. The other meeting member says that the Caribbean Republic disappeared once when the South American finance industry collapsed, and the people who have access are called C. The director is startled when a stranger suddenly approaches him and whispers something in his ear, prompting him to declare that the moment has arrived. Suddenly, the Southeast Asian Financial District collapsed, making the entire city's assets null and causing the city to vanish. Before the sea reaches Japan, It emerges in Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Singapore. This causes the financial districts of those cities to collapse and the cities to instantly disappear. Meanwhile, in Japan, Mikuni thinks of saving Japan from the arrival of sea by using the resources he managed to collect. Then there is a flashback when Masakaki takes Masuki to the rotary press of the Midas Bank to gather resources. Later she arrives in Japan. The economy begins to fall, but because of Mikuni's resources manage to save their companies and Japan. Kimimaro and Sauda sit and talk about Masakaki's decision to take resources from Midas Bank. They wonder what will happen because of his decision. Later, when Kimimaro is working, he suddenly looks around and notices that Masuki's choice has harmed the city as half of it has vanished. Watching this, he rushes to Sauda and they decide to protect the future. On the other hand, the North American financial district's assets begin to enjoy as their interests start pushing US dollars into the global economy. As a result, the Americans could redirect the effects of sea and send it in the direction of Japan. To keep the Japanese economy from experiencing another financial collapse, Mikuni plans to utilize the black card and the Midas money press once more. To stop Mikuni, Jennifer, Kimimaro, and Takadazaki make a plan and Jennifer and Kimimaro go to fight Mikuni. As they arrive there, Kimimaro fights with Ikaru while Jennifer fights with Mikuni. Kimimaro refuses to use Emsu's powers and tries to fight with his own powers. But when he could not defeat Ikaru, Emsu came forward and defeated him instantly with her one attack. The plan goes wrong when Mikuni wins a bargain against Jennifer, even though Kimimaro somewhat succeeds in his goal of getting rid of other high-ranking guild members. Mikuni ignores Kimimaro's request to stop using the Midas money press, and decides to keep printing in return for the rest of his future. However, thanks to Masakaki and on the orders of the higher-ups, Kimimaro now has his own black card and the ability to stop the press. Mikuni and Kimimaro fight for control of the press, and each makes their own deals. The country's stock market has improved because people are exchanging a lot of yen, in addition to the price spike. People are in disarray because of the sudden change in currency. Masakaki, who believes the world is naive, claims there is yet an hour before the clearing. Kimimaro and Mikuni start their fight by going all out on each other. Mikuni's actions put Kimimaro in a tough spot. His powers get weaker as the yen's value falls and people realize Midas money is not what it seems. As Kimimaro continues to fight Mikuni, Emsu begs Q to stop, who is based on Takako and begins to take her shape. Midas money and Mikuni's powers disappear, allowing Kimimaro to win and C to go through Japan. Kimimaro, having been declared the winner, orders the reversal of the press, with the futures reverting to their original positions and owners. Emsu kisses Kimimaro before leaving as a result of the asset's disappearance. Kimimaro goes back to reality and finds that the US dollar is now Japan's currency, and everyone's futures have been fixed. In the end, we come to know that some futures have been altered, but in general, they have not ended. This is all for this anime. Give the video a like, and I will see you in the next minute.